what's going on? Jujubear here. Welcome back to the channel. Me and my teammate are playing as Carthage, and our opponents are playing as Galatia. So I've got a pretty vast army of mercenaries here, mostly mercenaries. We've got the Noble Blood Cav, 3 of them. Actually, I've got a pretty familiar build here that I tend to use quite a lot. I've got Noble Blood Cav in the center. I've got my Scutari Cav out in the flanks. I've got Iberian Swords, Late Libyan Hoplites on the flanks as well. And my sword core is going to be made up of Scutari in the center, just because of their high charge and high weapon damage. Wait, melee attack and weapon damage is pretty high on those guys, so it's pretty good. So what I'm hoping to do is punch through the center of my enemy's formation, break that up, and then I'm going to be following up with my Iberian Cav. So once I've broken through this little hole here, I'm going to send my Iberian Cav through the center and get into all these juicy slingers and archers and that kind of thing. So that's the plan. We'll see if it happens. I've got Gallic warriors on the near flanks and mercenary noble fighters out in the far flank. So just hoping to hold and maybe win on the flanks, but definitely hoping to win in the center and punch through my opponent's formation. My teammate here has gone with Noble Cav General. He sent his African war elephants up the front, and I was like, dude, you got to pull them back. They're going to get killed. So I was actually surprised they didn't actually take any losses there. So my teammates got Cretans, 3 of them up the front. African pikemen, 2 of them. Noble fighters, Italian swordsmen, 3 of them. Noble Cav, 2 of them. So very expensive units. I just sent a Scutari unit to push back his slingers there. So we'll see how he goes against this sword core, but naturally Galatia is going to be a lot better. Oh, here comes the action here. So what I'm doing is going to put it in slow motion here. I'm going to get a nice charge into the center with my Noble Cav. Going to knock down a lot of these Galatian legionnaires and get a lot of kills straight off the bat. And I'm going to follow it up with these mercenary Scutari. And my Gallic warriors out in the near flanks are going to be probably overwhelmed by the Galatian legionnaires, but that doesn't really matter. But yeah, you can see I'm pulling out my Noble Cav pretty much as soon as they've gotten the kills. And then I'm going to be reinforcing with my own Scutari. So all across the board, it's a little bit messy to look at, but it is pretty effective most of the time. We'll see if it works here for me. So Gallic warriors coming in here, they've already lost a lot of their men. And they're starting to waver. These mercenary noble fighters are probably going to win this engagement. In the center, Scutari have lost 5 men, but the Galatian legionnaires are down to 80, something like that. But he has popped shield wall, so that's going to improve his chances of winning or living significantly. So don't know if I'm going to win the center actually with this Scutari. They're probably not going to be doing heaps well, especially up against these shield wall units. So Levi Freeman coming up against these late Libyan Hoplites, I'm probably quite happy with that engagement. And he's going to try and attack me with his light horse. Definitely going to win this with my Scutari. Hands down. Got my Iberian swordsman coming around the flank. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some nice shots into the rear of that unit. And I'm going to start wheeling around my shock cav around this flank here. Out in this flank, we got pretty much the same thing. I managed to sneak a little Scutari cav through the center here and get a couple of kills in his skirmishes. Probably not the most effective use of them, but I've got these Iberian swordsmen getting some nice shots into these Galatian noblemen. So probably a good use of that unit there. These Galatian legionnaires are probably going to hold out for a long time against my mercenary noble fighters and shield wall. I need to get this this unit of noble cav through this little gap here so I can get into the rear of my enemy. Over here, Noble Horse is going to be holding up a whole bunch of units, but I've managed to get my Noble Cav into some of his skirmishes now, and we're going to start plowing on through and start taking out a number of different units now. So with my spears, I'm able to push back his Noble Horse. He doesn't want to take that engagement, which is understandable. And his light horse here have been... Actually, I don't know if they actually killed my Scutari, but... Wow, maybe they did. That is surprising. So in the center, I am actually managing to win, but only just, and it's a little bit too late. So my Iberian Cav didn't really have that much of an effect. They weren't actually able to get around the flanks and into my opponent's unit. So I'm actually able to bring my Noble Cav back and just face up against my enemy Noble Horse with this late Libyan Hoplite. I'm going to push back his skirmishes and hold them with my Hoplite now. Did manage to get my Noble Cav into the back. I don't really know what I was going to do with this unit. what he should be doing with his Celtic Slingers is just firing on this unit here. He could destroy them very quickly. So my micro is a little bit slow here. I'm going to get a nice rear charge though into this Galatian sword, who were probably going to win this engagement up against my Iberian swordsman, but not anymore. He has got a lot of skirmishes left though. My opponent had like, I don't know if you guys saw at the start of the battle, he had like 4 of these Celtic Slingers and 3 of these mercenary Syrian archers. It was something dumb like that. So we are managing to win in the center, though it has taken a long time, but over on the near flanks where he was coming up against my my weaker swords, he's actually managed to win. So out on the flanks, winning. We'll see if I can make anything of it now. What am I firing on here? These Iberian swordsmen out of ammo. So it looks like I'm going to go straight for his noble horse, and I'm probably going to catch him here. I'm going to catch a couple at least. Yep, so he didn't get a charge, and I'm able to bring my noble cav general in here as well and reinforce. Managed to finish off a Galatian legionnaire over here. The Galatian nobleman of this Galatian player over here has managed to come over into this fight and help out. Though I do have noble fighters and Iberian swordsmen in here, so he's probably not going to have the best time trying to defeat them. Gonna have to try and silence his slingers because he's actually still doing a really great job at picking out different targets and defending them. But it doesn't look like it's going to hold up for too much longer because I've got my Iberian cav doing their job, or doing the job that I kind of set for them in the first place. And I'm just going to fucking make sure these guys cannot come back and just sandwich them in between a noble horse and an Iberian cav. So he's actually got more Celtic Slingers over here that are wanting to come back into the fight. So at this point, he's got a couple of these Galatian legionnaires. They are kind of stacked up together, so not really going to have the best engagements, but I do have Scutari and Iberian swordsmen coming in here. Going to get a fairly nice charge into their rear. Got noble fighters coming in here to support as well. And it looks like we are going to be able to defeat these Celtic Slingers at some point. So my teammate over here, he's holding out with some of his pike units, and he's getting a couple of kills here actually. But it doesn't look like his elephant survived, and it looks like he's kind of not been able to win this fight over here. So a lot of skirmishes left on the field for the other Galatian player. So I took this opportunity to kind of bring one of my Iberian cav around here and start dealing with them, because they're definitely going to be an issue for me come the late game. So very kind of chuffed that I was able to kind of spot that problem, that potential problem, and it was good for these Iberian cav to actually play a part in the rest of this match. So very good stuff. Very happy that they were actually able to do what they were meant to do. So he's going to throw his Galatian raiders in here and probably destroy these Iberian cavalry, which is probably a good idea. He definitely needed to deal with this Iberian cav, otherwise I could have potentially won that engagement. I'm getting a nice rear charge with my noble cav into the back of these Galatian legionnaires. These guys are very good units, very cost effective. Getting a lot of kills, 76 there, 150. Yeah, they did pretty well actually. All things considered, they are quite cheap, and they were coming up against some units that weren't really pushovers either. So we have managed to finish off the Galatian player over on this flank. I'm going to use my one of my noble cav to just chase off this Celtic Slinger. Again, very pesky, very useful in the end game. Gonna have to try and finish off them fairly quickly. My Iberian cavalry eventually died, but I did manage to deal with a lot of these slinger units and skirmishes that my opponent had. And it looks like he's just got Galatian legionnaires, Cappadocian cav, couple of Galatian raiders. Yeah, so not a whole lot left from my opponent here. So my teammate did a pretty good job at finishing off different units around the battlefield, and it looks like he's actually the original Galatian player that I was coming up against managed to finish off a Gallic warrior with this Celtic Slinger. So pretty annoying stuff. I'm gonna have to chase him down with my noble cav. Lots of kills there. Jesus, 231 on this shock cav. Good work from that unit there. This Celtic Slinger, 63 kills, so done a pretty good job. I'm in a pretty favorable position over here with my my little bush. I have got a lot of very good units left. I've got Iberian swordsmen up the front, just as meat shields. I do have noble fighters and Scutari. So definitely going to be in my favor. I've got a couple of noble cav units. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be winnable. As long as my opponent doesn't do anything crazy. So he immediately opens fire with his Celtic Slingers. I think he's firing upon my Iberian swordsmen. So probably not the best target for my opponent here. What I'm hoping to do is hit my opponent with the shot cav and then send in my swordsman to back them up. But he actually kind of ruins that plan a little bit and just sends his Galatian raiders in here. So I don't really get the best engagement over here, but over here I get a really nice charge into his Galatian legionnaires, and I'm going to follow it up with my own Iberian swordsman here. So I'm going to pull back the way I came, definitely not going to pull through. I ain't about that life. And I'm going to send my mercenary Scutari in here. Again, pulling out with my noble cav, and I'm going to wrap my noble fighters around the flanks and do some killing. Iberian sword, finish off the Galatian legionnaires, and I'm going to finish off this Galatian raider as well. I love these units. These guys are so good. These Iberian swordsmen can be used in pretty much any situation, and they will be some kind of annoyance to your opponent. So he's going to be pulling out his Galatian raiders to the safety of his skirmishers. His Galatian legionnaires have managed to stabilize, but not before they kill off a mercenary Scutari. These Galatian raiders are being ganged up on by Scutari and Iberian swordsmen, and I'm going to send my noble cav in here just to finish off the rest of his skirmishers. Again, same thing, going to wrap around, maybe do a rear charge. Can't remember what I did with this one. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go after this skirmisher. Yep. And all the while, my noble cav general is just sitting up the back, nodding his head in agreement. Just saying, good job, man. Nice one. Costly victory. Jujubear the winner. So we got 343 kills in this noble cav. That's pretty good. Double XP chevron. So they must have been killing something like fairly useful. I think for the most part, yeah, it was kills on the original Galatian legionnaires, and I got into his rear and I was killing off noble horse as well. So that was probably, oh, actually, and a lot of mercenary Syrian archers as well. So lots of kills, definitely very useful. But again, these Iberian swordsmen. Man, 208 kills in this guy, 103 there. But even the noble fighter is getting a lot of kills, like just getting into lots of different engagements, one after the other, and winning all of them. So that's probably where they were most useful. This Scutari actually did a very good job doing what they're kind of used for, which is getting a lot of kills in a very short amount of time. Their high charge bonus and their high weapon attack and melee attack means that they can do that kind of thing. But my original plan didn't really work out, where I would kind of plow through the center of my enemy's formation. I think I probably could just use mercenary noble fighters in the center and use my noble cav as well to kind of combine and win that kind of engagement. But Hazenga he got a lot of kills with his elephants, probably not enough to pay for themselves. They did get a double XP chevron. I don't know how this happened actually. This noble cav got triple XP chevron. I don't know if they were put on the unit at the start of the game. But yeah, lots of very like elite units. And it doesn't look like any of them really had a vast effect on the battle. I mean, he has too many units that he has to babysit, like 3 Cretan archers. You have to make sure that they don't get charged in the rear. African war elephants, you have to make sure they don't get shot by flaming shot or take any javelins. And again, these pikemen, you have to make sure they don't get flanked. So he just doesn't have the support to bring these kind of units and this kind of number as well. But our opponents had some pretty nice builds. The only thing about this build is I would probably ditch the light horse completely and maybe bring some more cavalry, maybe less slingers, maybe even more Levy Freeman. They're pretty good. They did a good job of holding up my men. But this kind of build is pretty nice. Galatian Legionnaires, Galatian Swords as the meat shields, Celtic Slingers. Really nice stuff here. I like this build. So MJ Lodge, nice one, man. Thanks guys for the game. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned. Until later, this is Jujubear signing out. Peace.